the incredibly lovely and wonderful ladies over there over at The View. You know The View, the commentators that say that men are useless. Yeah, those wonderful ladies are going viral again for all of the wrong reasons, but this time it's gotten a response from LeBron James. The comments from The View are utterly ridiculous, but they refer to Caitlin Clark, who's the newest star of the WNBA. Now, Caitlin Clark has cemented her legacy within the NCAA with a ridiculous amount of records, awards, and because of this, she's slated to become the highest earning WNBA player with her salary at a paltry $76,000 per year. But her endorsements are over $25 million. But the wonderful ladies over at The View think that she's getting this check not because of her skill set, not because of her talents, not because of her accolades, not because of her stats on the court, not because of her championships, but because she is a white woman.
You know, I've been a basketball fan since I can remember. I played basketball with my dad in Harlem when I was 5 years old. So I remember loving the game, and the game not necessarily loving women back, right? At all. And the WNBA started in 1996. First games played in 1997. It's 2024, and we're just really now talking about it. And so if Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo.
The sport has not treated you back well because women do not watch it. Let's stop all the cap. Let's stop all the feminist narratives. Let's stop all this shit about the patriarchy. Because bump the men that don't watch it. If you take the male viewership of basketball or whatever that number is, and you transpose that to women and have all of those women watch the WNBA, guess what? The top athlete won't be making $76,000 per year. She'd be in the multi-millions. The WNBA for many years have been a faulty product. I'm not making that shit up. Just look at the viewership numbers. But let's get into the DEI victimhood blaming and try to make sense of it.
I have no problem with that. With that being said, I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege. There is a thing called white privilege. There is a thing called tall privilege. And we have to acknowledge that. And so the part of it is about race, because if you think about the Brittany Griners of the world, you know, why did she have to go to play in Russia?
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay her.
Because they wouldn't pay, not because she was black, but because they didn't believe in the WNBA.
This is part of my point. So now, you know, Caitlin Clark is bringing this money, these sponsorships, we hope, into the league, and other players will benefit from it. But I do think that she is more relatable to more people because she's white, because she's attractive. And unfortunately, there still is that stigma of against the LGBTQ plus community. 70% of the WNBA is black. A third of the players are in the LGBTQ plus community. And we have to do something about that stigma in this country. I think that people have a problem with basketball playing women that are lesbians. Who cares? They are great athletes.
Oh, there's pretty privilege. Oh, there's tall privilege. This is what holds the product back. Imagine a panel of dudes arguing that there's tall privilege in the NBA. See, men don't do that. But I feel as though they get represented more because they're closer to the rim. Is this reality? I'm beginning to understand why so many wokies walk around with a victimhood mentality, because they watch content like this drivel, and absorb it as if the shit that they say matters. Because you can reverse engineer her faulty logic and say, well, if there's 70% of players in the WNBA that are black, then maybe there's a black privilege. But regarding the comments of her sponsorship being related to race, I'm just confused, because on one side of the coin, you're saying that you wish your 5-year-old self had access, or the basketball was taken a lot more seriously. And then you're complaining that a different look of a player is now entering and is getting the sponsorships that the WNBA hasn't had before. No one made it about race until you made it about race. What this should be about are her numbers. And what are some of those stats and honors that she holds? Well, just in her senior year alone, named preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, unanimous AP preseason All-American selection, became Iowa's all-time leading scorer, achieved the most 30-point games by any man or woman in Division I in the past 25 seasons. Became the Big Ten's all-time leader in assists, and it looks like she also did that for Iowa as well. And look at this. The list just goes on. I'm not gonna keep on reading all of this, but you get the picture. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. And let's just say that her accolades weren't as high as this, and her accolades was the same as the next best black player. Who still gives a shit? Most of the people within the country that watch her are white. White people are more likely to connect with other white people because they look more like them. Same thing with black people, connecting with more black people because they share the same look, habits, culture, etc. And listen, this is capitalism, baby. This is business. These brands just want to make money off of her image and her likeness. So from a strategic business perspective, it would make sense to sponsor who is the highest performing player that appeals to the most in the audience. But her credentials speak for herself, way even outside of race, which classifies her as an amazing player, thereby dismissing your argument and making you sound just like a hater. But let's see what LeBron has to say about how Caitlyn should be dealing with the haters.
I'm rooting for Caitlyn because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. You know, I hope they do great. You know, I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that Caitlyn has a great head on her shoulder. She seems like it. I don't think I've ever met her. I don't think I've met her before, but it seems like everything is going to be great for her because she's a great talent. She seems like a great gal. And I hope she turns that franchise around to where Tamika Catchings had it at one point.
And it reminds us that you'll be a lot more happy in life, not hating, especially using your victimhood narratives. All right, so listen, I keep on getting these DMs to listen to the snippet of this Bill Burr comedy special, so let's get after it.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes, right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games.
Yeah.
You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night.
Yeah.
The promoter lost his on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're gonna come and you're gonna get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our job. It's not my job to give a about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID.
We work tirelessly in the WNBA. It's the most competitive league in the world. It's only 144 women that get this blessing to have the opportunity. Nobody's really retiring, and every year it comes in great talent. So it's the highest level of basketball. And if you love basketball,
no, it's not.
You love the WNBA.
Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up.
Yeah.
Where are all the feminists?
Right.
That place should be packed with feminists.
Facts.
Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties, going f***ing nuts like the guys do in the upper deck with their big beer titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it?
Bonner.
What? What?
Floyd. Howard looked like she got away with an illegal
What?
screen on Turner. Howard.
What? What is going on? That's what the top scores be like. 50 to 37.
Goes around the other side. Shots not falling. Mercury is 1
What?
for 8.
You have these staggered tips, and now you can potentially have teams that are the later round.
And then the inbound stolen on a terrible pass from Jackson.
Damn, son. Trash.
None of you went to the games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA.
Look like a pickup game.
Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on.
Yeah, they can't do it.
That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it. You don't give a
You don't care. Oh my
about them.
God.
They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a tragedy, right?
If my daughter ever decides to pick up a basketball, I want her to have the same opportunity that my nephew has.
Okay, in short, I'm saying pay these women. That's what I'm saying. She's gonna go elegant about it. You need to be paid because you command the same respect. The game is just as good.
Irrespective of ticket sales, irrespective of the difference in talent, which would then increase the ticket sales because it'd then be a much more exciting game. I mean, if you guys are playing on a 10.5-foot rim, maybe you should make the rim smaller because women on average are smaller than men. I mean, that would make sense to me, and maybe it'd be a lot more high flying, a lot more dunks going on. You have to think about ways to make it more exciting instead of telling these women, hey, anything you can do, I can do better. And then they're trying to play the same game on the same size rim. It's just so incredible. What's so interesting about this as well is that these are the same type of thinkers that will complain about equal pay, irrespective of being equally talented, or they'll complain about representation of CEOs, but yet don't complain about representation of bricklayers, or also don't complain about the way that women can make more money on an OnlyFans. They don't care about equality when it benefits them.
And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians, they're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens.
Money listens.
You don't want to watch this, you watch this. They just shoot it over there, drowning these in money. Purses and shoes and Botox. It's just raining.
It's facts. That's what gets the ratings.
It's raining money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the money listens. You'd rather watch that? Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids. That's why your ass is as flat as your titties. Right? That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them actually destroy each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And then in the end, you come back and you yell at guys. And it's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the window, and I have to watch WNBA games for you? Like, when are you going to pick up your end of the couch?
Yo, listen, shout out to Bill Burr. You know what's so interesting about comedy and the art form of that is that, honestly, comedy is where you should go to look at future trends, because a lot of these comedians can get away with speaking certain truths because it's in the art of comedy. They can say things with a funny undertone to it, but there could be a lot of truth to it. Shout out to Patrice O'Neal as well. He was doing comedy about and doing content on the discrepancies between modern men and modern women way before this side of the internet was even created. And although the extremeness of his comedy did get him blackballed to a degree, it's super interesting that you can go right now to go find his clips and how true that they reign even today. But yeah, shout out to Bill Burr for calling out the truths that we all know and love. And here's the thing, here's what I really like about content like this is that, you know, it gives us the opportunity to hear other people's thoughts so we can bring these talking points with us into discussions, like real life discussions that we're having. Because it's true. The ones that complain about the WNBA salary, when's the last time you've been to a game? Name a team in your city. Name your favorite player. And don't give me this, oh, it's about marketing. They don't market it enough. Okay, so you want a business owner to put in money into something that's not exciting to see? Does that make any sense? And irrespective of the marketing, why were you not there? All of you feminists, why are you not there? It's really real and it's really true. Because at the end of the day, just like Bill Burr said, you got to be able to follow the money. And if people are not paying for a particular product, then you have to question the product itself. If it was a good product, it would fly off the shelf. But if it's a bad product, then it won't go nowhere. It's like you going out to breakfast in the morning and you looking on the menu and order number 14 says hot steaming plate of shit. You think they're gonna sell number 14? Right next to the country sweet breakfast with the bacon and the eggs and the hash brown and the grits? I think not. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Did you guys enjoy today's video? I know that I did. All right. I like to have these type of weird videos from time to time, but we do something outside of the ordinary. So hopefully you guys are still here. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. I'll link Bill Burr's channel below in case you want to get up to speed on him if you are unfamiliar with his comedy. Until next time, YouTube.